Aya sat alone in her small workshop on Earth. She had just finished tuning a solar array for Kale, her alien friend. The soft hum of machines filled the room. Suddenly, a hollow message flickered before her. It was from Lady Tora, Kale's mother. The light in the message was warm and gentle. Aya's heart skipped. She did not know why Kale's mother wanted to speak with her. She only knew that Kale cared for her deeply. Aya felt a mix of pride and worry as she reached out to accept the invitation. She blinked at the date and time glowing in midair. The visit was set for the next day on Kale's homeworld. Aya's mind raced. She lived in a world where humans and aliens rarely mixed beyond strict duty. Lady Tura was a high-ranking member of her society. Aya wondered if she could honor an invitation from someone so important. Her palms felt warm and damp. She closed her eyes and took a slow breath. She reminded herself that Kale had always treated her as equals. Aya decided she would go. That evening, Aya packed a small bag. She chose her simplest dress and a small gift of earth tea leaves. Kale had once told her that his people loved new tastes. The gift felt right. Aya also tucked a data pad of earth music into her pack. The music was gentle and hopeful. She hoped it would please Lady Tura. As she packed, Aya felt a flutter of excitement.
Ow!
She told herself this was more than a visit. It was a chance to stand. Not just as a guest, but as a friend. The next morning, Aya stepped onto the landing platform. Her shuttle rose above Earth and cut through the silent blue sky. She recalled Kale's stories of his home. He had described glowing forests and rivers that shimmered under violet stars. Aya stared out the window and felt awe wash over her. She felt small in the vastness of space, yet she also felt brave. She knew that Lady Tura's invitation was a gift of trust. Aya closed her eyes and imagined greeting a mother figure with respect and kindness. When the shuttle arrived, Aya stood before the crystal spire that was Lady Tura's home. The tower spiraled upward like a living sculpture. Soft pulses of light traveled along its surface. Aya paused at the base and looked up. Her heart beat fast again. She thought of Kale's warm laugh and gentle ways. She imagined how proud he must be that his mother wanted to meet her. Aya took another breath, smoothed her dress, and stepped forward. A silent guardian approached the entrance. It was a tall, graceful being in a flowing garment. The guardian bowed and spoke in soft tones that Aya barely understood. She offered her small gift and said, "I am Aya, a friend of Kale. I come with gratitude." The guardian's eyes softened. He motioned her inside. Aya felt her chest swell with relief. She stepped through the doors as they slid open like petals. In bloom inside, the atrium stretched wide beneath a domed ceiling of living crystal. Light danced across smooth walls and plants swayed in gentle air currents. Aya's eyes grew misty. She felt both honored and humble. A soft voice called her name. Aya turned, and there stood Lady Tura. Her presence was calm and warm, like the glow of morning sun. Aya straightened her shoulders, ready to greet her host. In that moment, she understood that this visit was not just a formality. It was the beginning of something new and wonderful between their worlds. Aya followed Lady Tura through the wide halls of the crystal spire. The floor beneath her feet glowed softly, lighting each step. Aya kept her eyes on the walls. Strange patterns shifted like living art. She felt a gentle pulse in the air, as if the building itself was breathing. Each breath reminded her that she was far from Earth, yet she did not feel lost. Lady Tura moved with calm grace, and Aya trusted her guide. They paused before a pool of water that shone like liquid glass. Small fish with rainbow scales drifted below the surface. Lady Tura touched the edge, and the fish swirled closer. Aya felt a spark of wonder. She had never seen life so alive. She leaned forward and whispered, "They are beautiful." Lady Tura smiled and motioned for Aya to sit on a low crystal bench. Aya did, careful not to disturb the quiet magic of the place. Lady Tura spoke in soft tones, and a gentle translator orb drifted near Aya's shoulder. Its light pulsed as it turned alien words into Earth language. Aya listened as Lady Tora asked about her home. Aya described wide green forests, tall mountains, and morning dew glinting in sunlight. Lady Tora nodded, her eyes thoughtful. Aya felt pride swell. She realized that her simple words carried pieces of earth to this distant world. She saw a warm light in Lady Tura's gaze. Then Lady Tura led Aya into a chamber filled with shelves of small jars. Each jar held a floating sample, glowing flower petals, tiny stones, drops of colorful liquids. Aya's eyes widened. "These are from many worlds," Lady Tora said. She lifted a jar of tiny blue seeds. Aya recognized the shape they looked. Like the seeds of her tea leaves, her heart beat fast. She had brought tea for Lady Tora. Aya held out her gift, the small pouch of earth tea. Lady Tora accepted it, her fingers gentle as wings. Lady Tora opened the pouch and sniffed the leaves. The translator orb turned her soft murmur into earth words. "This scent is new and kind." Aya felt relief. She smiled shyly. Lady Tora then produced a matching jar and offered to swap samples. Aya's breath caught. She realized the invitation was not a test, but a true welcome. They quietly exchanged gifts. Aya placed her tea in the glass jar and accepted the glowing blue seeds. She felt wonder at this shared moment. The chamber's light dimmed and soft music filled the room. It sounded like wind through tall grass mixed with distant voices. Lady Tora motioned for Aya to follow again. They entered a balcony overlooking a garden under violet skies. Strange plants bloomed and floated in midair. Aya felt her chest grow warm. She imagined Kale playing among these flowers as a child. She thought of how brave it was to come here. Yet she felt even braver now, standing with Lady Tora in this alien garden. As they walked back toward the atrium, Lady Tora placed a gentle hand on Aya's arm. The translator orb said, "Your spirit honors my son and our world." Eyes filled with tears, she drew a slow breath and whispered, "Thank you for your trust." In that moment, Aya understood that Lady Tora had invited her to build new bridges between their people. She felt a deep swell of hope and joy. She knew this visit would change her life and her world forever. Aya woke early to soft chimes in the hall outside her guest room. She slipped into a light robe and followed the sound to a bright dining chamber. The walls here glowed with pale blue light, and floating lamps drifted like small moons overhead. A long table of polished crystal stood in the center, set with delicate bowls and cups. Aya's heart fluttered. She felt both nervous and honored to share a meal with Lady Tora. The gentle hum of the spire seemed to cheer her on. Lady Tora entered with serene grace, her robes trailing like mist behind her. Aya stood and offered a quiet bow. Lady Tora nodded kindly and gestured for her to sit. The table hummed beneath Aya's seat, warming her gently. In front of each place lay a small bowl of glowing broth and a plate of soft, leaf-like cakes. Aya inhaled their scent, a mix of sweet blossoms. In fresh dew, she marveled at how food could feel alive here. With a soft flourish, Lady Tora picked up a small spoon and tasted the broth. She closed her eyes and smiled, then motioned for Aya to do the same. Aya lifted the spoon and sipped carefully. Warm light spread through her chest. The broth tasted of moonlight and wild fruit, gentle and full of life. Aya felt a tear of joy slip free. She looked at Lady Tora, whose eyes shone with pride. Aya whispered, "This is beautiful." As they ate, the translator orb floated between them, capturing every word. Lady Tora asked Aya about her home on Earth. Aya spoke of morning light on mountain peaks, of rain on city rooftops, and of the hopeful song of birds at dawn. Lady Tora listened with quiet attention, her head tilted. Aya felt seen and heard. She realized this meal was more than food. It was a gift of shared stories and trust. Aya then turned the conversation back to Lady Tora. She asked gently, "What was Kale like as a child?" Lady Tora's gaze softened, and distant memories lit her face. She spoke of Kale's first steps on soft grass, of his laughter echoing in crystal halls, and of how he once carried a small sprout from earth in his pocket for days. Aya's breath caught. She could imagine Kale's bright smile and boundless wonder. Her heart warmed at the picture of her friend as a curious child. Lady Tura paused, her voice growing serious. She explained that their world's living forests were in danger. Strange blights had begun to wither plants across many lands. The people of the Spire believed that Earth's strong and diverse life could help heal these wounds. That was why she had invited Aya to ask for her help and her world's wisdom. Aya felt a rush of emotion. She understood then the true reason for this visit. Aya reached out and placed her hand lightly on the table. She said, "I will help. Earth has healers and botanists who study many plants. I will join you." The voice was steady but filled with hope. Lady Teresa's eyes glowed brighter, and she offered Aya a small crystal vial. Inside shimmered the living blue seeds they had exchanged earlier. "These seeds will guide our work," Lady Tura said. "Softly. Together, we can save both our homes." As the meal ended, Aya stepped out onto a balcony that overlooked the violet sky. She held the vial close, feeling its gentle pulse. She looked at Lady Tura standing beside her, calm and warm. Aya realized that this bond was more than friendship, was a promise of partnership between two worlds. She inhaled the strange, sweet air and felt her spirit lift. In that moment, Aya knew that her life, and perhaps Earth itself, would be changed by the trust of an alien mother. Aya stepped into the research hall beside Lady Tura. The room was wide and bright. Tables held glowing plants in glass containers. Gentle lights floated above each station. Scientists in smooth robes moved with care. Aya felt a flutter of nerves. This was the place where Earth's seeds and alien science would meet. She remembered the promise she made. She would help heal two worlds. Lady Tura led Aya to a station where a small patch of living moss lay under a clear dome. "This is our home's oldest forest," Lady Tura said softly. Aya knelt and touched the dome's edge. She felt calm energy. A scientist offered Aya a vial of Earth's soil mixed with the living blue seeds. "We will plant them here," the scientist explained. Aya's hands trembled slightly as she poured the mix onto the moss. The soil sank into the green carpet. Aya wondered if this small act could truly make a difference. The team watched in silence. Aya held her breath. The lights dimmed and soft music played. It felt like the forest was listening. Aya thought of Earth's forests she loved as a child. She hoped the seeds remembered the rain and sun of her home. She whispered, "Grow strong." Lady Tura placed a hand on Aya's shoulder. Aya felt warmth and strength pass to her. She straightened and took a steady breath. Hours seemed to pass in moments. The scientists recorded data on floating screens. Aya studied each wave of readings. Her heart sank. Doubt crept in. What if the seeds could not live here? What if Earth's life was not right for this world? Aya closed her eyes and thought of Kale's kind smile. She thought of Lady Tura's trust. She felt her hope return. Aya opened her eyes and touched the dome. "We will try again," she said. Lady Tura nodded. She guided Aya to another station with gentle plants that glowed under violet light. "This soil is richer in certain nutrients," Lady Tura said. Aya mixed more earth soil and seeds into the new patch. As she worked, she felt calm. She knew each world had gifts. She knew she must learn from both. Aya smoothed the soil with care. She whispered, "Please show us your strength." The hall held its breath with her. By the next morning, the dome's glass was cool under Aya's palm. She knelt and saw tiny green shoots pushing up through the moss. The seeds had sprouted. Aya felt tears fill her eyes. She looked up at Lady Tura, and the scientists gathered around. Soft light shone in their eyes. Aya's heart swelled. She whispered, "They live." Lady Tura reached out and hugged Aya. Gently. "Together, we will heal our worlds," she said. Aya smiled through tears of joy. She knew that this moment was just the start of a true friendship between Earth and the Spire's people. Aya stood in the sunlit garden outside the Spire with Lady Tura. The violet sky glowed above them and soft breezes stirred the flowers. Aya held the crystal vial of blue seeds close. She felt a deep bond with this place and its people. Lady Tura turned to her with a gentle smile. "Now we share our homes," she said. Aya nodded, her heart full of hope and pride. They walked down a curved path of glass tiles that shone like water. Aya told Lady Tora about Earth's great forests and how people worked to protect them. She spoke of young students planting trees, in city parks, and scientists mapping unknown species. Lady Tora listened with thoughtful eyes. Aya felt the sun on her back and the warmth of friendship grow in her chest. At the end of the path, a holotable floated in the air. It showed maps of both worlds. Ahai's world was green and blue and round. Lady Tora's world was tall and spired with glowing rivers. Aya placed her hand on the Earth map, and Lady Tora placed hers on the Spire map. Light connected the two maps in a thin line. Aya's breath caught. She saw that they could truly link their worlds. Lady Tora tapped the table, and images of plants appeared. Tiny leaves, bright flowers, and twisted vines floated in the air. Aya's eyes sparkled. She remembered walking through forests filled with parrots and bright mushrooms. Aya pointed to one image of a tall fern. "This fern helps clean the air and soil," she said. Lady Tura's face lit up. She tapped the fern and said softly, "We will try it here." They talked through the day under pale sun. Aya suggested sending a team of Earth botanists to share knowledge. Lady Tura agreed and offered to send her best eco-engineers in return. Aya felt her chest swell with excitement. She imagined working side by side with alien scientists, trading seeds and ideas. She knew this would help heal the Spire world and build respect for Earth's life. As evening came, they sat by a calm pool in the garden. The water shone bright and soft music played like wind in tall grass. Aya looked at Lady Tura's calm face. She said, "Thank you for trusting me and my world." Lady Tura reached out and laid a hand on Aya's. Her touch felt like warm light. Aya's eyes filled with tears. She whispered, "Thank you for welcoming me as family." Lady Tura smiled and rose. She guided Aya back through glowing halls, to a private room lined with soft cushions. "Rest now," she said. Aya lay down and thought of all they had planned. She saw visions of green leaves growing in alien soil and new bonds between worlds. She felt the promise of tomorrow shine bright in her mind. That night, Aya dreamed of forests under violet skies. She dreamed of children from both worlds planting seeds together. She woke before dawn with a steady light in her heart. She rose and looked out at the first pale light of the twin moons. Aya knew that she was part of something much bigger than herself. She smiled and prepared to greet a new day of hope and friendship. In the early morning, Aya met Lady Tora again in the atrium. Light danced on living crystals. They exchanged a final quiet bow. Aya felt proud to stand as an ambassador for Earth. Lady Tora's gentle eyes shone with promise. Aya stepped forward, ready to begin the shared mission they had borne together. Their two hearts beat as one for the future of both worlds. ChatGPT said. Aya awoke to a soft chime that echoed through the crystal spire. She dressed quickly in a simple robe and followed a glowing corridor to the meeting hall. The room was bright, filled with tall windows looking out on violet gardens. Today, Earth botanists would arrive to work alongside the Spire's scientists. Aya's heart raced with excitement and a gentle hope. Outside, a shuttle descended through pale clouds. Aya watched as its doors opened, and a small team of Earth's best botanists stepped onto the landing pad. They wore light field jackets and carried cases of equipment. Aya greeted them with a warm smile. She bowed and said, "Welcome to our shared home." The botanists looked in awe at the glowing architecture and nodded, their eyes shining with wonder. Lady Tora joined them, her calm presence guiding Aya forward. Together they toured the research chambers where the blue seeds had sprouted. Aya introduced each Earth scientist to a Spire engineer. They shook hands, human and alien fingers meeting over glass tables. Aya felt pride as she heard laughter at a shared joke about soil pH levels. It was a small moment, but it showed that friendship could grow just as plants did. In one station, the team tested earth ferns in alien soil. Aya watched microscopes, and sensors record each change. At first, the ferns went pale, and concern rippled through the group. Aya's chest tightened as she held her breath. Then faint green tips appeared on the leaves. Smiles broke across human and alien faces alike. Aya placed her hand on the table and whispered, "You can do this." That afternoon, Aya led a discussion under floating lamps in the atrium. She stood before a holotable showing data charts of plant growth. The Earth scientists suggested altering nutrient mixes. The Spire engineers offered new light frequencies from their living crystals. Aya translated ideas between both teams. She felt her role as a bridge more clearly than ever. Each suggestion was a thread weaving their worlds closer together. As dusk approached, Aya invited everyone to the garden for a break. The violet sky deepened, and soft breezes carried the scent of alien blooms. Aya handed out cups of earth tea made from the leaves she had brought. She smiled as the scientists on both sides sipped quietly, savoring the taste. Aya felt tears sting her eyes. This shared, quiet moment was the heart of their partnership. Later, Aya sat with Lady Tura on a bench carved from living crystal. Aya said, "I am honored to stand with both our peoples." Lady Tura placed a gentle hand on Aya's. "Your courage and kindness guide us," she said through the translator orb. Aya felt a warm glow in her chest as she realized that this project was no longer merely science. It was a promise of friendship that would last generations. That night, Aya wrote in her datapad. She recorded each success, each challenge, and every moment of laughter. She imagined how children of both worlds might learn together in classrooms beneath violet skies. As she finished, Aya looked out her window at the twin moons shining above the spire. Hope filled her heart. She knew that tomorrow would bring new discoveries and new bonds that could change the galaxy. ChatGPT said, Aya stood in the morning light on the highest balcony of the crystal spire. The dawn sky was soft violet, fading into pale blue. Below, the joint team of Earth botanists and Spire scientists tended the gardens they had grown together. Aya's heart swelled with pride and hope. She touched the cool crystal railing and thought of how far they had come since the first seed took root. Lady Tora joined Aya, carrying 2 cups of warm tea. The steam curled in the cool air like gentle mist. Aya accepted a cup and tasted the familiar spice of earth leaves mixed with a hint of alien blossom. She closed her eyes in quiet joy. Lady Tura smiled and said, through the translator orb, "Our worlds grow stronger because of your heart." Aya felt tears of happiness fill her eyes. They watched as a young sapling grown from the living blue seeds stretched toward the sky. Its leaves glowed faintly under the rising sun. Aya remembered the first time she saw those seeds sprout under the microscope. It had been a moment of pure wonder. Now, she saw that wonder growing into real life across the balcony. She imagined how this tree might stand for centuries, linking to planets and friendship. Below them, human and alien children ran among flower beds, laughing in voices that mixed earth songs with spire melodies. Aya bent to look and saw a girl from Earth offering a small flower to a spire boy. He accepted it with shy delight and placed a bright petal behind her ear. Aya's chest ached with joy. She knew that this simple kindness was the true magic of their work. After breakfast, Aya led a final ceremony in the grand atrium. A circle of living crystal pillars glowed softly around them. Aya spoke of unity, of life that bridges worlds, and of a future built on trust. She handed Lady Tora a carved wooden box from Earth. Inside lay a small fragment of soil from Aya's childhood forest. "For your archives," said Aya. Lady Tora accepted it with gentle hands, her eyes shining. In return, Lady Tora presented Aya with a small crystal orb filled with swirling light. "This holds the first data of our joint research," she explained. "It will guide future healing." Akea held the orb close, feeling its warmth. She bowed deeply, then embraced Lady Tora. Around them, the crowd of scientists and children clapped in quiet celebration. Aya felt the warmth of their applause in her chest. As the ceremony ended, Aya walked through the spire's halls one last time. She paused in each garden and research hall, touching the leaves she had helped grow and smiling at the complex devices that had nurtured them. She thought of Earth's forests and the people who would hear of this partnership, felt proud to be the link between two peoples who once knew little of each other. That evening, as Aya prepared to board her shuttle home, Lady Tora stood at the airlock. They exchanged final words of friendship. Aya said, "I will carry your trust back to Earth," Lady Tora replied, "and we will carry your hope in our hearts." Aya stepped into the shuttle and watched the spire fade into the violet dusk. Her heart was light, full of promise. She knew this was only the beginning of a story that would bind their worlds forever.